defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Tajae Sharpe, the intended target. And now it's third down. Third and long, it's Newton. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A toss play left. There goes Devontae Freeman. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side.
All right, here we go. Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Joe Schobert from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
And the Rams now coming out on the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
13 yards there on the pickup, and that leads to a Los Angeles first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
On second down, here's Newton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Newton on 3rd down. And he finds his target. It's sharp. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold. Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll run here with Mason. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now it's Newton. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed. Yeah, you're right. The sink just wasn't there.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to let this one go deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to try and go deep again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. And he motions the wide receiver. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Noah Spence able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Automatic first down.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now they run. It's Mason. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
Back to throw, Newton. Down the numbers. There he goes. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Out of the gun, Newton. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams are in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the...
So out come the Falcons now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Back to throw again. Going down the middle, and it's complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And that leads to an Atlanta first down.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I can just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And he knocks it through. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. They'll run again with Mason. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
This is screen to Abdullah. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
They're going to look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get 14 yards there and a first down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And down inside the 15 he goes. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. He's got time in the pocket. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. DeAnthony Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And all the way down to the 29. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now a first down following that long gain. On 1st and 10, Newton. Throw left side complete to Sharp. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Tajae Sharp as the first half is winding down. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way down and got his man complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
So, what's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show, I guess. We're ready for the third quarter. Let's go. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Second down now after the pass completion. Mason. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
On first down, Newton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Fresh set of downs here. On first down, it's Newton. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Mason. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Play action. Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration, the focus necessary, and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Throwing on 3rd down. Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time. See if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And that's incomplete. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go play action here on 1st down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before you get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, with the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. So, and what they're challenging here is
under review. After reviewing the play, the region of field stands.
well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Caught, Kelsey, left side. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of Central Casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Trey Mason with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That one goes for 24 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this point...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So, boy, that's already the third they burn here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the fourth quarter. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Danny Trevathan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular. This afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out, and they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out. And now the rookie's free. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for L.A. 91 yards. Well, that right there is the definition of flipping the field.
Trainer. Only reason I say that, you know he's going to need a little oxygen after that one, but what a scintillating run, and how much fun was that for us to watch it.
Great run. Now it's Newton. Finding time. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Second down now after the incompletion. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Trey Mason with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And thanks to the interception, the Rams offense cashes in for 6. And he'll bang that one through. And Charles, the second time today that he has hit pay dirt.
And once you score the first one, there is that natural tendency, and there's also that eagerness to get back there again. Oh, he smells it. This guy smelled the end zone, and twice he's gotten there.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. They'll roll him out right. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. A shotgun snap for Newton. This will be caught just inside the 10. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it second and goal. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space.
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Trey Mason, a dynamo since the break, 3 third-quarter touchdowns. And the Rams are going to jump back in front. He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it 2 ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's back now here on EA Sports. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
We'll see Kelsey in the slot to the left. Newton on 3rd down. This will be caught just inside the 10. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
And that pickup of a 1st down, That's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal to go now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. Third and 2, Newton. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play. Just held on to the football too long there, Charles. That's point blank, right?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. You've got to have that internal clock that goes in your head that says either get rid of the football or flush and go and use your legs and try and pick up the first down. I think he hung in there too long, and the blitz got to him.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course, what comes after that is often. And for them to limit him and him not catch a ball until the second half, it's a big reason why his team is behind on the scoreboard.
They'll get 23 yards there, and it'll be first down Atlanta. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. They go play action here on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Trying to ram his way in, but they're going to hold him back at the goal line. No gain, and it's second down. And they're going to speed things up here.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
From back at the 3 now, this is 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Duke Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
So bad.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Here's Newton. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. Touchdown, L.A. DeAnthony Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams have broken our tie as they take the lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 45 yards. So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the fourth with the football. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. They'll set up a throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
The drive begins with Mason. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Atlanta now coming out on the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there with time running out. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to... And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion. Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. And incomplete on the deep ball. Here's Matt Bosher now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. A good pickup there, a 22. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare, because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
Here's Newton. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now it's Newton. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he lost the football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
It doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And he finds a man on the crossing route. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught at about the 5. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a first and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. He tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's 3rd and goal. So they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score.